morning. 9:06, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. No Dixon. Dixon taking a couple of days off. Be back on Tuesday. Brooks Burdett in studio with us. Steve West behind the glass, and all of you guys as we get into a weekend that looks a little bit overcast this morning. We thought we might see a little bit of sunshine, but that might not be the case today. We do have a 60% chance of showers on this July 24th, a high of 89. And we're going to have a similar day tomorrow, a situation where we've got about a 60% chance of rain. I don't know about you. I think rain is great and very valuable. We all need it. Thank the good Lord for the rain. But could we just have a little bit of a break, like maybe a week or 10 days of no rain? My yard guys are supposed to come today. I just got a text message. I'm thinking, well, you better hurry up before the rain comes.
It'd be great if they could knock it out.
It'd be nice.
And if y'all saw Valerie's front yard, she needs a yard guy.
There's no way.
You can't do it.
There's no way. I even tried. There's two sections, and the driveway splits it. Okay, and it's kind of on a incline
hill.
The upper part is doable, and I tried it with my push mower one Saturday, and I was like, I will never do this again. I didn't even get to the part that's really steep, and I still don't know how my yard guys do it. But I'm so grateful.
Well, when we came that day, moving you there.
Yeah, thank you for that, Brooks.
First thing I said when we turned in the driveway is, she does not need to cut this yard. Because
you know what you would find me? You'd find me and the mower rolled all the way down to the street.
Yes,
is
absolutely.
where I would be, and that is not an exaggeration.
Yeah. No,
I would probably be. How did Valerie die? By lawnmower.
Yes,
that's how.
And it wasn't doing what she loves to do.
No,
it just wasn't.
No.
But
so
I'm real happy that you've agreed that you can spend that money.
Because all of my life I've always cut my
the
grass, and then
me too.
And I'm just like, I finally reached. I was like, there is no way I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I will end up in the hospital.
I mean, that's not even one you should do when you're young and dumb.
No, but they're doing. Every time I'm looking out the window, going, how are they doing that?
They're professionals.
360 things.
Yeah, they're on one of the stand up the back
stand up. Yeah,
where it kind of moves around.
Yeah, like I said, they're professionals.
They
know what they're doing.
I know, but I'm like,
Oof.
I'm not. I always say, I'm not paying them enough.
Yeah.
Shh.
You realize you just put that out on this
I know.
station,
Yes,
right?
somebody's
Probably a good thing that we're on lower power.
Yeah, thank goodness. Maybe they're like, oh, well, she said that.
You're going to
Let's
get your
charge
new
her.
No, we didn't
wheel.
really say that. That was some other station that came in over us.
Yeah, no,
That's exactly right. All right, let's get to it because everybody looks forward to it.
I do.
It's this guy's turn.
It's Steve's turn.
So I said yesterday that I was going to go through the predictions that they came out with after SEC Media Days, right? Mm-hmm. And this is not just, by the way, the folks that are, actively covering the SEC here in the southeastern part of the country in the States. It's national media kind of throwing in as well. And understand predictions are just predictions. It's how the media looks at things. And let's face it, I think they've gotten it right in the last, since 2000, maybe handful of times. So, take this for what it's worth, but it's kind of fun to look at and see when we look back at the season, you were wrong, or hey, wow, they got it right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll see. And think about this. This season's going to kick off in right about a month.
That's amazing. I cannot believe we're here.
We're 1 month from now.
I know.
A month and a week.
We're talking about it. Here we are.
When Media Days hit, I was like, wow, already.
So here we go. Media right now are giving the nod of the SEC championship winner to the Texas Longhorns.
Not.
Hang on.
Wow.
Hang on.
Wow.
30% of the media say the Longhorns will win it. Georgia Bulldogs come in second, chosen by 23% of the media. So they're saying basically the SEC championship game will be Texas versus Georgia.
Okay, we'll see.
Alabama comes in on this at third. 10% of the media says they can win the title. 9% for LSU under the first year of Lane Kiffin. 8% for Texas A&M. From there, the order of the chances to be able to win the league title fall from there. They go in this order. Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, and Auburn sit about the same. 1.5% chance to win it. Ouch.
Ow, that is painful.
Not the worst, though. South Carolina.
I hear a Cinderella story coming. Come on, Auburn. Come on, Auburn.
South Carolina, Vandy, Kentucky, and then you have the two worst. Arkansas and Mississippi, according to the media, claim they have a 0.1% chance of winning the SEC title. As for the predicted records, Texas, those leaders in the clubhouse for the SEC title, say the media they're expected to go 10-2 in the regular season. Georgia, they say, will likely mirror that record. Alabama's predicted to go 9-3. Auburn's expected to be at 500, 6-6, they say. As for those two teams at the bottom of the standings, they say Arkansas probably will end up with about a 4-8 record. Mississippi the same, maybe if they're lucky, 5-7.
Wow.
So
I'm
there
kind of
you go.
surprised Alabama third. I would have thought.
Yeah.
Huh.
And can they
They are
lose?
breaking in a new quarterback.
Yes.
That's
Can they
one
lose
small
3
problem.
games? I'm thinking about head
Can they?
coaching
Yeah,
positions.
Probably.
Bama fans.
Yeah,
we go
will they have
9-3?
the patience to
Right.
put up with that?
Right.
Yeah, that is the question. I don't know. And the thing about it is, I like Kalen DeBoer. I don't love Kalen DeBoer. I like Kalen DeBoer. But here's the question: if you fire Kalen DeBoer, who's out there that's better?
Who are you going to get?
I hear it.
Well, there's
I
always
hear it.
Lane
I
Kiffin
hear
that's
it out
dying
there.
to come back.
Saban's gonna come back.
Saban ain't coming back. Sorry,
come
folks.
back.
Yeah.
Saban's enjoying his
I
life.
think he's not coming back, and I think
His
one of
role
the-
at the University of Alabama is set. He's
Yeah.
happy with it.
Yeah.
It's not happening. So tell me, who's better that you're going to go get to take over at Alabama? That's the question. You want him fired, come up with somebody better.
There's just not a lot out there.
there's not.
No.
And I think even if NIL goes away or there's a major change in a way to manage that, Saban wouldn't. I still think he wouldn't. If he was offered that position
no,
back,
I don't
he
think
wouldn't
he
take
would.
it.
Hey, Alabama can hire Hugh Freeze. See how that goes.
What?
That'll work out well.
I'm just trying to stir
Smoking
folks
crack?
up.
What's
I'm
the
just
matter
trying
with
to
you?
stir folks up. But let me, and I've said this before on the show. I'm gonna say it again. So I love Saban on game day. I like.
He's a breath of fresh air
Well,
there.
he is, but he's happy.
Uh-huh.
He's calm, and his perspective is great.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him to keep that job. That's what I want him to do.
Oh, you don't want him to come back to Alabama?
No, of course not. No, I would be. The interesting thing if he ever
Mm-hmm.
came back to coaching was to watch him win another championship, which he probably would. But I really like him on game day. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he does a great job
He
on
does.
game
He
day,
does.
and he makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like he's the senior of the team there as far as
Yeah.
knowledge of football.
Right.
And everybody, it's like when he starts talking, everybody, really listens. They're like,
Well, and I just, I think he should be the commissioner that works through this NIL stuff. I think he's got it. And,
yeah.
I was
Well,
hoping when he talked to Congress they'd listen, but they rarely listen. So.
Very rarely, no. And in the first year that he was there, he didn't seem to be all that comfortable. And especially when Pat McAfee is Pat McAfee. You like him or you hate him, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
They're night
Yeah.
and day.
They're night and day,
Yeah.
but the first year he seemed kind of intimidated almost, which is strange to say for Nick Saban.
Right.
Last
Not
year,
anymore.
man, he just gave it as good as he was getting.
Well, now he holds
so he
Pat's
got
chair
much more
for him.
comfortable. Well, he
holds
got
Pat's
so much
chair.
more comfortable.
He
though.
did. That's
you know,
right.
You could tell.
see a difference. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Well, and two, when you have always, your role has always been on the football field and molding players and doing that, to switch that to, like, it would be as if somebody had never done radio before and they sat down in the chair that you're in. You're like, well, I don't know what I don't know what,
Right,
we're
right.
doing a dance here,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to dance. I don't
Yeah.
know quite how to do
And
it. And I think that was Nick Saban on that show. He
Yeah.
needed a year under his belt to go, oh, well, this is super
Plus,
easy.
he
I got
didn't
this.
like people that did that job.
Yeah.
So he had to get past that too.
So true.
Now I am one of them.
That's right.
But I love his perspective. I think it's great, and I look forward to it.
Yep. Well, you got 1 month to go, and here
Yep,
we go.
here
or a
we
little
go.
less.
Coming to your
About 5
city.
weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
About 5
Coming to
weeks.
your city.
Unbelievable. 9:15 back in moments here on Talk 99.5. 921 Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Looking at radar right now. If you're in Pelham and Calera and points southward, you're about to get a bunch of rain. There's a line of showers coming through there. And then looks like Gadsden's got some, Jasper, just north of Jasper. So rain in the area already. And we were talking about afternoon showers. Well, forget that. It's morning showers too. We have got it. So grab an umbrella or rain jacket. You're probably going to need it today and tomorrow, it looks like, unfortunately. We just saw this on our monitors, and we'll pass it along to you. We've gotten word that there was a seaplane carrying 11 people that had to make an emergency landing. Now, this happened late yesterday. This was off the coast of Washington, prompting a multi-agency search and rescue operation. All 11 people, a pilot and 10 passengers aboard the Kenmore Air seaplane have been accounted for. The plane made an emergency landing in the water, then caught fire, and the U.S. Coast Guard was able to apparently get to them. 4 people were transported to hospitals with serious injuries, and one of the 4 injured passengers transported in critical condition, according to what we know. The victims' injuries range from head injuries to broken bones and lacerations. The plane, what prompted the plane to make an emergency landing, we still don't know the answer to that. But again, it happened about 4:30 yesterday. I have flown in a seaplane one time, and I really enjoyed it. But I've shared this before. I was a little concerned. This was down in Key West years ago. I was probably in my 30s at the time. And they had these seaplanes that would fly you to the Dry Tortugas, which is about a 40-minute flight from Key West. And a friend of mine and I, there was a whole group that went, but only one other person was as interested as I was to do this seaplane flight over to the Dry Tortugas. And I said, well, let's go. So we booked the flight for like 2 days after we were there. And the flight leaves real early in the morning, like 7:30. I think we left, 7:30. And it seats 6 people. So it was myself, a friend, and then a family. It was a husband and a wife and their son, who was about 10 years old. And then there's the pilot and there's a co-pilot seat. And when we get there 30 minutes ahead of time, and you fill out paperwork and, sign this waiver and that waiver. And what you do is you fly over and you spend the day there. So the pilot shows up. And he's stumbling a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with this guy? But, he's like, oh, we're go ahead and put your stuff in the plane. We're going to leave here in about, 15 or 20 minutes. And I looked over and I said, did this guy just walk from the bar around the corner? I mean, is he drunk? And so I turned to the family, the husband, the wife, and the son. I'm looking at the husband and wife. I was like, is this guy okay? So finally, the husband speaks up and he said, are you okay to fly this plane? He goes, oh, yeah, we'll be fine. Look, we just fly a few feet above the water, and if something happens, it's just, go crash right into the water. It'll be all right.
No. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not making this
they
story
didn't happen
up.
in that way, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I was like,
that's not a good experience.
no, and I was like, hey, can I get you some breakfast, a cup of coffee? I'm thinking, so sober this guy up a little bit. And I said, how often do you do this? He goes, oh, we twice a day. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I fly everybody
do it
over, and I
drunk.
can do. And I'm thinking to
Wow,
myself,
that's real scary.
well, he's right. We won't be very high, and it's
Yeah.
got 2, things, and we just land.
Wow.
Well, I see this, and I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
I could have died.
That's right. Sure, you could have. Sure
But
you
let me
could've.
tell you what, it was the most beautiful flight. It was a gorgeous day. Because you fly so low, there were several little shipwrecks, like boats that you could see
could
clear. It was
see. Oh,
crystal
wow.
clear. You could see sharks. You could see all kinds of sea life. It was incredible, and it was one of the most beautiful flights. And you land, you get to the Dry Tortugas. There's a dock there.
Have what the pilot's having.
Yeah.
the plane gets there and it goes to the dock, and you get off on the dock, and you're literally, there's no one else there. So there's not a snack bar. There's not a place to get water. You take everything you need, a sandwich and some bottled water or whatever you need. And then the pilot drops you off and he takes off. He leaves.
Wow.
And he
Wow.
comes back later that afternoon. I think it was like 3:30 or something like that. And I was like, I turned to him. I said, "You're not going to forget to come get us, are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be
I'm gonna
back.
go
I'll
drink
see
a
y'all."
little.
I was like, "Please don't drink a little."
So, Valerie, compared to a regular plane taking off on a runway, how different does it feel?
It was
on the water?
it was cool. And it really wasn't that different.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're up in the air in like seconds, and then you're just flying at the same altitude all the way over there.
Right. Right.
And I highly recommend, if you ever go down to the Keys, and there's so much to do down there, make that flight. But the last time I went, I was down the Keys, I guess 4 years ago was the last time I was down there. This flight is not easy to get. I mean, I booked it within 2 days. You can't do that anymore. There's a ferry that goes over the Dry Tortugas and then the seaplane. But if you don't book it like 6 months out, knowing you're going to go down to the Keys,
Right.
you're never going to get that flight. But it is really, and it's the quickest way to get there, actually. The ferry takes hours.
Is it an island? where
Yeah,
you're
it's
at?
an island, and it's the old, I think Fort Jefferson was
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Kind of like Fort Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I've got them mixed up. Maybe that's Fort Jeff. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's very similar to what's on the end of the island at Fort Morgan.
Yeah. Okay.
That,
Yeah.
that was
Sim-
years and
similar-
years
yeah.
ago.
Wow.
They used it during the war. And it's just, you can walk all through there and snorkel, and it's just beautiful.
Oh man.
It really is.
That sounds
But the next time that I know that the pilot's a little drunk, I probably won't get on that
yeah.
plane.
Yeah. I bet
again,
you can.
that's
You may
that's-
not can get away with that.
I don't know. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think you can.
Yeah, but that was.
Might need to take your lawyer with you. I think that's a
I think my
great
lawyer
idea.
would be like, "We're not getting on this plane, and you're not getting on this plane."
Our families
either."
will be wealthy if we crash.
Yeah, they sure would. Yeah, well, sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much. But I don't. I mean, you've done small. Have you flown small planes?
Yes,
Been on small
yes,
planes like
yes,
that before?
yes,
Maybe
yes.
not necessarily a seaplane.
Yeah,
but
never a seaplane.
like a
yeah.
Cessna or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, very recent. I've got a friend from church that's a pilot, and we took off from Shelby County, landed in Pell City, had something. He took me over
Oh, that's too cool.
our house.
I want to
and-
do that.
Yeah, that was really neat.
I would love to, maybe see some of Birmingham.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on, planes that are coming in to
Right.
land,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, let me see where we're at. Where are we at? One time, it flew over a house that I had on Shades Crest Road because it flies
Yep.
from Atlanta down across the mountain and then makes a loop and then goes into the airport.
Yeah.
So it doesn't land on the east side of Birmingham.
Yeah.
It actually comes in and then flies west to east and lands.
Right.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
to see that.
there's a track because I've done it twice. It flew over my office.
And you're
It
like,
came
that's
in
my
up- yeah,
office.
that's right there. But then we did a small plane bucket list. I've never been in the Grand Canyon. I want
Uh-huh.
to do that. I want to do the overnight camping, but I have been in a small plane and flew over it. And that
The
was-
Grand
yes,
Canyon?
that was really cool.
That's very
was
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a friend growing up whose father had a small little Cessna in South Florida, and we would fly not around the Miami airport, but it'd be like Shelby County,
Yeah, right.
flying in that kind of area, and it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of
It
fun.
is a lot of fun. All right, lots to get to this morning. There's a couple stories we haven't gotten to yet. This one, I mentioned it last hour, and we got sidetracked, but I'm going to get to it because it's a doozy. It has to do with I'll give you these two little teasers. A mail carrier and 100 animals.
That's a U.S. mail carrier.
U.S. mail carrier.
From Florida. From Florida.
Oh, it's another Florida story.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
I forgot
Florida.
that.
It's Florida.
And 100 animals. It's a doozy, and you don't want to miss it.
Going postal.
Careful with that. Back in Miramona, it's 9:29. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Talk 99.5. Brooks waving to everybody on YouTube.
Well, I looked up at myself and I was looking very sure. Very
And
sure.
sometimes, here's the thing. Don't forget that that's not a mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a minute ago
You
I was
know,
going,
like,
my hair's sticking up. Everything.
let me do my hair real quick. Don't pick your nose.
No, that I don't do. And I try not to eat in front of y'all, but you know. Steve, as
man,
always,
man.
just the greatest bumper music.
Yeah,
I mean,
people are already saying that.
He motivates me. with
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna put on in my car? Boston. That's
Listen,
my favorite.
He's played
I-
Journey. He's played
Yep.
Boston. We got Queen. We got Doobie Brothers. Well, I mean, what else do you need in
I
life?
don't know. What do you want?
Hey,
Are
and
you
you know the Steve Perry look-alike, sound-alike in Journey. He cut his hair.
Arnel Pineda.
Yeah, he cut his hair, and I was like, "Don't cut your hair. I like it better when you look like Steve Perry." But God, he's good.
Mhm.
Oh, he can
Yeah.
hit those notes.
Very
Ooh, he can do
talented.
it. Yep. Yep.
It's tough to do that.
Yep.
So thank you, Steve, for that.
Yep.
All right,
Steve.
we got a crazy lady story, a crazy mail carrier story
Golly.
out of Martin County, Florida. I'm not really sure where Martin County is. Where is Martin County? Can you find that for us, Steve? Out of Martin County, Florida. I should know these things, but I don't. 77-year-old Florida woman, she's 77, was arrested after authorities rescued 80 cats from her home.
Point St. Lucie, Jupiter, Palm Beach area.
Okay, I should know that. I don't know. Martin County. Authorities suspect the mail carrier collected feral cats along her route. The news has people in Martin County neighborhood who have missing cats wondering if she took their pets.
Yep.
92 animals, including 80 cats and 12 dogs, were rescued from a home in Stewart's Foxwood community on Monday. Now, I do know where Stewart is. Sheriff John, but I don't know how to say his name, called it the
Bazinga?
thank you.
The sheriff.
The sheriff called it the worst case of animal hoarding he has seen in his county. The sheriff said animal control tried to get inside the home for about a week, but the owner, her name was Gail, refused to cooperate. It's my mother's name too.
Yeah.
But she cooperates.
Yeah.
Court records show that the sheriff issued more than 40 citations in 2015 for improper care or treatment of animals, but the case was dismissed. Oh, this poor woman. I'm seeing a picture of her for the very first time.
Yeah. She spent money on cat food instead of teeth. That's what you could tell from that picture.
And
if you
I'm
look at
sad
the
for her.
picture of her home, I've never seen a hoarder house look like that. because
Somebody.
but y'all, how come nobody saw her grabbing up these animals and putting them in her little postal van?
And can I ask you something?
And somebody's cat just went missing 2 weeks ago, and now they
Do
wonder
we
if
have
she's
a lot
got
of
it.
postal people that are still working at 77 years old?
They said she started in 1997.
Okay. So she's trying to get maybe her pension or benefits
I
or
don't
something,
know.
working
I don't- well,
20. So she's
she's
past
gotta
that
feed
point.
all those animals. She's got to keep working, Valerie.
Oh, this
But-
is
but
sad.
people said
Where's
they've
her
been-
family and friends on
People
this?
said
Somebody.
that they've been missing cats like crazy, so they thought some wildlife was coming to get them.
So
That's just
she's
terrible.
on her postal route and she's just picking up cats.
Yeah.
They're not. They will. You know, a lot of people have cats and they.
Yeah.
They roam.
That's right, because you can't put a leash on a cat. You could, but I've never been.
I mean, they're
successful
not
with
just
them.
necessarily indoor. There's a lot of people that have it just
Yeah.
indoor cats. But what is this woman doing?
And
This is so
again, how
sad.
did a ring camera not catch this woman
Picking up.
snatching
Well,
a cat
maybe that's
or a
how.
dog?
Could have been
and
that's
putting-
how she got caught.
Yeah.
Is that finally, this is what it says. I looked on the news and saw a video of one of the tuxedo cats inside the cage that they were talking about out of the house, and I'm very hopeful that it's my cat. This woman her name is Shannon. She said, I'm hoping that this postal carrier has it. That is just, it's a couple of things. It's very sad because this woman obviously has some mental health
Right,
issues.
which is she still working? That's my question, because she doesn't look. I couldn't imagine her based on her appearance
that she would be able to
work
and do her duties.
because that's a hard job. It's a very hard job being a postal worker.
And
So,
then there's an image of the inside of her house. Have you,
there's no trail.
No,
most
there's no
hoarders
path.
have a path. There is no path in the house.
that we can see.
Nope.
Now there may be one. We just
You
maybe
see the
don't
Chewy
it.
box? So she was
Yes.
getting expensive food, Valerie, for those
She
animals.
works for the postal service. They
Yeah.
make decent
They
money.
do make decent money. Their
And
pension's
apparently all she
excellent.
does is stay at home and take care of cats.
Yep.
Other than doing the post office.
Right. But when I saw the
Have you
Chewy
ever-
box,
have
I'm
you-
like, that's not, that's not Purina.
Have you
She's
ever
getting more
known
food.
a hoarder? Do you know somebody directly or indirectly that
Yes.
is a hoarder?
Yes.
No, I mean like to this degree.
Yes,
I mean, we make
it was
fun.
it was a case. It's not a family member.
Yeah.
So my family that's going, oh, she's about
Yeah.
to talk about me. No,
No.
this was a case.
Because she's former
And-
police.
And
What did you say?
it was just real bad, and like the basement floor falling in. So her hoarding was so awful, and the house was in total disarray. It was very, very sad, very sad. And it was
So what do you do with that? I mean, as somebody that's in law enforcement and we're seeing the citations that this woman got, if she doesn't have family or friends to step in, what happens? Can law enforcement
in the
in
case,
this situation?
In that case, I was appointed to represent her because DHR had gotten involved.
Okay.
And she initially was taken to the hospital to check
be
out
checked
her,
out.
and ended up in a nursing home because she certainly couldn't take care of herself anymore. And what was so sad was she had a son who had died years ago, and that's what she remembered. And she kept saying, I want pictures of my son. Well, most of the stuff was just ruined.
Yeah.
But she had passed. And then there was another case. Again, I was appointed. I worked cases where I was appointed to represent these folks in the hospital. That house, I had never seen hoarding go to the ceiling,
Oh, heavens.
and it went to the ceiling. It was, and the paths were little bitty, narrow through the house.
I've only had one experience, and that was a friend of mine's grandmother was a hoarder, and we went to visit the grandmother because I was like, I don't really understand what you're talking about. And you're right, there was a path from the front door to the kitchen, and there was a small space where her grandmother sat in a lazy boy chair.
Yeah, like her nesting area. Is what we
It was a
called
little area there with
Mhm.
a little table where she could put her drink or whatever.
Right.
But everywhere else was at least 5 feet, maybe 6 feet against the walls. Was already packed. And the big deal was she could still drive, and she would go to Walmart. That was her. She really enjoyed going to Walmart, and she would buy more of the same things she already had. Like if she had, 60 bottles of liquid soap,
Yeah.
she would buy 10 more because they were on sale,
Right.
and then put those. It was fairly organized because all the soap was over in one section together.
That's interesting.
It was.
Wow.
And magazines that we wanted to keep, those were stacked. I'm
magazines.
like, the whole time I'm going, fire, fire.
Right.
I'm thinking this house is going to go up like a matchstick.
Wow.
And to see that, and I was like, you've got to do something.
Yep.
This is your grandmother.
Right.
And the discussion was the family had tried over and over again to, hey, let's take some of this out, and they weren't having any of that.
Right.
It's a really difficult situation.
Well, the one that I did that was to the ceiling, she was competent, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And a local church had helped her out like 5 years before and cleaned the whole house out. When I got in the case 5 years later, it was back up again.
Good
The same
heavens.
amount. And it was
Well, again,
she would get thrift store clothes,
Mhm.
magazines, that's something, newspapers,
Yeah.
and just stuff. It was something else.
All right,
Very sad.
we're going to get into something a little bit more fun. If
Yeah,
you
let's do. That's
watch-
pretty sad.
If you watch any golf, there is a female golfer now that has a lot of heads turning. She likes to smoke on the golf course, and she suffered a brutal quadruple bogey during a recent tournament. We'll talk more about it here.
John Daly's
9:45.
daughter?
It could be.
No, she's too
She could-
pretty.
yeah,
I don't
she
think
is
she
too
came
pretty.
from. I don't think she came from Mr. Daly.
We'll tell you a story next here on Talk 99.5. 9:51. Happy Friday, everybody. Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5. Good day to go see my good friend Craig over at Birmingham Broker. There's a couple of reasons you want to use Birmingham Broker, and that is if you've got a vehicle that you need to get rid of, okay? Maybe it's time to change from a small truck to a bigger truck. Maybe you're in an SUV and you'd like a sports car, classic car sitting in the garage taking up space. There's a million reasons to use Craig because he's great at selling used vehicles. Two things you'll get out of it. One, he's going to do everything he can to sell it as quickly as possible. That means pricing it correctly, not too much, not too little, because you don't want to give it away. The other thing is that Craig handles every aspect of it, and before he goes to work for you, the price of the vehicle that he's going to try to get, and he works very hard to do that. Give him an opportunity. I think that anytime you have a used car that you want to sell, you won't do it any other way but through Birmingham Broker. That's the only way that when I get ready to sell a used vehicle, I use Craig at Birmingham Broker, and I've seen what a great job he does. Go see him, 2224 4th Avenue South. He's in downtown Birmingham. Look up his website, bhambroker.com, bhambroker.com. And now he's got also BB Electric Moto dirt bikes. If you want some fun this summer, when you're down there at Birmingham Broker, slide into the business right next door to him, BB Electric Moto dirt bikes. These are super, super cool bikes.
Well,
I want one of those.
And as we've talked about before, I have used them. I have sent family and clients to them. They're wonderful. And I still hadn't been by to see the new electric bikes. I need to do that.
These things, when I saw one, I was like, that's not electric. That's a regular dirt bike. And he's like, he goes, come here, let me show you.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm telling you, for somebody young, they've got smaller ones. Like if you had a farm and some land, like where you are, you can ride that thing all over the place. And then they've got ones that are big enough for adults to cruise around on. They're a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, the day we were out there for the grand opening, the kids were running up and down the street. They blocked it off in downtown Birmingham. They were riding and doing wheelies. And I was like, these are so cool.
That's just great.
They're really, really cool. How about this? Honda is teasing a redesign, and maybe Steve knows a little about this, for their pickup, their Ridgeline. The rumors are that they are developing a third generation of its Ridgeline midsize pickup truck. They've even teased an image of it, the redesign of it. If you haven't seen this,
a little more rugged, I would say.
Yeah,
what they're trying to do.
I think so.
What I think they're looking to do is try and get it a little bit bigger. Plus, one of the bigger complaints about it is the lack of towing capability of it for a lot of people who like pickup trucks. Yeah. So they're trying to make this a little bit of a beefier truck so that it'll handle a lot more.
What do you think of the Ridgeline, just in general?
I don't mind it. I've never driven one, so I don't know what it feels like. But knowing that it's based upon like the Honda Pilot and Passport, I'm sure it rode a lot like an SUV. Front-wheel drive and all that.
I always like the look of them. I've never driven one either.
So, but again, they're just looking for a little bit more power out of it, I think. A little bit more towing capability.
I think that makes sense. Make it a little more rugged, and maybe some of your guys driving the Chevy Silverados or F-150, 250, they might, converge that, and they're listening right now. No, Honda.
So
trust me, if you're a Ford person, you're probably not going away from Ford. Same for Chevrolet.
Anywhere from $42,000 to $50,000, right? And people are, y'all, cars cost that now.
Oh yeah, they do.
Let me tell you,
you want to get a nicely appointed pickup truck, and I don't care whether it's Chevrolet, GMC, Ford, or Dodge.
Oh,
Ram,
you're
talking
above
50 to 60.
Yeah,
easy.
And if you get a fully loaded top of the line thing, you're well into the six figures.
It's amazing where prices are. When you said that price, I was like, oh, that's fairly reasonable.
Yeah, I looked at the same.
That's where we're at now.
More than a down payment on a house. I mean,
at that point in time, you just try and figure out what it's capable of doing, and then you go from there.
I don't know. I want to see more images of it.
But
I need to see it before I would think about it. But then again, probably the next vehicle I get will not be a new vehicle. I'm probably going to go back to like the mid-1970s and just say to heck with all the tech.
Yeah, there you go.
Every mechanic will love you. They will hug you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Find something with like a GM Chevrolet 350 under the hood. You can still get parts for that all over the place.
That's right. Anytime you take your car to any type of mechanic, if you've got something that's been built in the last 5 years, they're like, I can't work on this. You can't get to anything.
Yeah. I have to take
I got to take the whole car
the
apart.
Part's 32 cents, but I got to take the engine out to do it.
That's right. I'm like, sorry. And then you'll get the earful of what to buy and what never to buy.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm like, okay, I've heard
But
this
we can
before.
plug your car in and tell you what's wrong with it.
That's right.
For $100.
Yes.
All right, if you live in Trussville, I think this is kind of sad. I mean, I've never been to their community pool, but it says they're going to close it for good. More than 70 years, Trussville's community pool is there, and they said, no, we're gonna find something. We're gonna redesign this area. You familiar with the
I
Trussville
am,
pool?
and the times that I've been by there, my office wasn't far from there. They always had a big crowd. I didn't realize it had been built in 1954. It was there when I went to Hewitt, my couple of years in the 70s, of course, but it was built in 1954, and they said the cost, but, you know, if you put a splash pad, the adults can't enjoy a
No.
splash pad.
What
so
if
I
we
don't know.
just why don't we do a new community pool? I mean, if it's just
Yeah.
that the thing is old and maybe
Is that
cracking.
what they're
and-
complaining about?
Well, the
They
mayor
say
said
they-
something about the, people showing up dwindling, but I don't know. That's just, and it's in a great location. It's by the school.
Mhm.
Um,
I say build another pool and add to it like a splash pad and maybe some other fun slides or something like that
Yeah.
for the kids.
yeah, and I had a friend that would take her grandkids. It's a great place to go. It's just,
Sad.
that is sad.
70 years it's been there, and they're like, "No, we're gonna do something."
You know, he didn't mention liability, but that's got to be part of it.
I was
That's gotta be
about to
part
say
of it.
that, and then I was like,
Yeah,
"Nah,
that's got to be part of it.
maybe not."
And supposedly a lot of the pools are having a hard time getting lifeguards. That used to be a primo job
Yes,
when I was growing up. I
Oh,
was never one because I wanted to be in the pool, but they can't get kids to do that. Kids need to work. Get off your phone.
Yeah,
Get off your tablet.
Get off the
go to
phone.
work.
Go find a job.
Go talk to people.
All right, so some of you are golfers. Some of you maybe watch. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot of men's golf, and one of the reasons that I watch is to see how I can help to improve my own swing.
Yes.
Like how they hit that. Oh, that's quite a
They
putt.
made that look easy.
Let me see how they do that. Lie their hand. They're holding the club ball different than I. Let me try that. There is a female golfer. Her name is Charlie Hull. Again, if you're not a golfer, this is fairly interesting. There's all kinds of articles about Charlie Hull. You can look it up. But she's probably one of the, I guess, most attractive golfers.
She looks like a model.
She's absolutely beautiful. But what's so funny is that a lot of times she's smoking a cigarette around the golf course.
And you just don't see that.
Yeah,
Except for the senior tour.
So I
you
had to
don't
look
see
her
it.
up
It-
because
it-
I didn't know who you were talking about. And, you click on the name and it comes up and you throw images.
Yeah.
One of the first images is her on a green
with a
Yeah.
cigarette.
with a
Right before
cigarette.
she
And
I mean,
I'm
she's
like,
on
okay,
the-
there you go.
She's
Teed off on
beautiful.
the
And
18
I'm like,
hole, hitting
girl,
the
put the
smoke."
cigarette down. The story is she hit a quadruple bogey in this latest tournament.
Oh, that's nothing. I've done that.
This was terrible.
In
This
a tournament.
green,
Sorry, I haven't done
This
that.
green was terrible. The hole was right in the middle, and then there's this huge, bank where it goes down, and she kept hitting it back up and it rolled back down. And then she hit it back up and rolled back down. It was like, oh no, Charlie. But to hit a quad, so she hit an 8 on a par
No,
5.
She had a 9
9.
on par 5. So,
Yes.
so quadruple is 4 over.
Right.
And
Unbelievable.
that's not.